designated target. Straight fire on the designated target.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's business. Time to put some giggles back into the ships and giggles. And I did want to just start this off by saying, yeah, I'm glad I got some of that shit off my chest with the previous couple of episodes. I needed to do that, kind of put that out there. And then patch 8.5 came around, and of course the AA was back in the game, and it was awesome. And then they immediately announced, whoops, we overdid it, despite the PTS kind of pointing that out to everybody. So of course, so I expect them to scale that back. But I can, as I've been saying on the stream, I can only imagine how much better the reception to the CV rework had, would have been if the AA was at the level it was with patch 8.5, at least the initial phase of that. So I don't know when they're going to roll out the new updated version of the AA, but obviously they certainly overdid it, but which of course has the immediate effect of less carrier games, because it's not as easy, it's not as comfortable for people to just jump in and do what they do with carriers. So I think there must have been a significant drop in the CV population for them to be immediately on top of that shit and be like, we overdid it, guys, come back. So also what I wanted to point out was that I would have been at the community contributor summit in St. Petersburg. I did get invited, I got my passport, I was starting the visa application and everything, and then I tweaked my back. And for anybody who has back problems, yeah, Jesus, it sucks. It's so bad. Out of all the things to have problems with, your back is just one you can't get away from everything, or anything, I should say. If you got a shoulder problem, which I do, you have knee problems or hip problems, whatever the case is, you're going to be in a lot of pain in a lot of situations, of course. But when it comes to sitting in a damn seat for 11 hours to head off to Amsterdam and Paris, and then, on the way back as well, I couldn't risk that. I tweaked it around the time I was moving, and for about 3 weeks I had some serious pain and issues, and just constant stretching and stuff helped it out. But luckily, for the most part, that is kind of back to where it used to be, and I need to be diligent with doing my stretching and that sort of thing. So I got a new workout regimen I'm trying to map out here as well, so hopefully that'll all make it a little bit more likely that I can do something like that if I get invited again. So fingers crossed. But yeah, I wish I would have been able to go, but oh well. So yeah, at least I have a passport now, so that's cool. But also, what we are about to be jumping into here, and I'm probably going to end up playing it myself, is ranked sprint with the tier 7 ships, and we're looking at the Helena here, which is a fantastic ship. I think a lot of people who are going to be interested in playing this would rather play something like the Boise with the Super Heel, or obviously the Nueve de Julio, which is the same thing for Pan American ships. And yeah, I was hoping for a double strike there. I just didn't get the chance to do so, and I wasn't able to get out of the way of that torque. I thought I was going to die from the torque pit, and now I got to sit here and wait as I almost flood out. Check out my health now. Holy shit. So this is one of the strongest ships in the game for its tier, as far as a tech tree ship is concerned, and I prefer this over the Boise simply because with the Boise, your utility also depends on you actually taking damage, and generally you just don't want to take any damage at all. So you want to, it's one of those things where it's nice to have, but I'll take a slightly faster reload, which gives me better chances to do this and that, or more opportunities to squeeze a shot in when I need to, or the extra consumables and stuff that you get with with this as opposed to the healed. And again, I know the healed's going to save a lot of people's asses and cost people games left and right, this and that. Of course, that's going to be the case. However, it's my personal preference to play the Helena over the Boise every single time. So, but yeah, this match was pretty damn intense. Got a Pensacola there who just died to, I think it's a Fubuki there, yeah. And, you know, I've just been shooting at their ships based off of the mini-map because, you know, great idea to add a little dot on the mini-map so people can very accurately shoot at targets that they can't see. But I'm fully expecting to die here. I'm detected, and here comes his shots. Throw out full salvo, managed to ace him, save the match there by getting the Fubuki. And sacrificed my ship to do exactly what I was hoping to do, and at the very least I just wanted to get a reset, that's all. I didn't actually expect to kill him, but that was a huge bonus anyways. So the Leon at tier 7 as well, I fully expect to see this a lot, and I think this is going to be a really problematic ship because I don't think a lot of people are actually going to be using AP except on, you know, broadside situations. Or check this out. God, that's ridiculous. But, you know, engaging other battleships and, you know, like bow forward cruisers and things like that, you're just going to see a shit ton of HE spam with this ship because it's so powerful with HE. It's amazingly strong. I've hit enemy battleships for 14,000 damage with HE with this, you know. And there's a Belfast in here. I was really hoping I would have been able to take a shot at him, but waiting for him to fire, give me a better bearing on where he actually is. There we go. Take a shot. So screw it, got 16 shells to throw. And awesome. Completely unexpected. So that was nice. But there are a lot of tier 7 ships. I would imagine the Belfast is going to be incredibly popular too. We are going to have 2-man divisions, so I would actually expect to see Belfast and Fiji combinations, because the weakest area for the Belfast is close range because it doesn't have the torps, and it just doesn't offer the same level of threat as something like a Fiji, even though it has, you know, the radar and that sort. But it's certainly a very capable ship, but it's one of those things where it really could, I think people will really be desperate to make it work, but I don't think it's going to work as well as the Fiji, in at least in closer situations. There's a give and take there between the two ships, but, and check this out, if I just kept swinging my turrets around from the front, that would have been a dev strike. So we damn near got him right there anyways, which is crazy, but yeah, can't sleep on this ship. So, I mean, just from the C and D turrets there, we threw 8 shells, which is just as much as the Colorado's broadside weight over here. So that's pretty damn impressive. And same with the Nagato as well. And there's the horn. Oh yeah. Alright. And this Colorado has just been firing HE the entire time at me. He kept setting me on fire over and over again. And I'm lucky as hell to be in this situation against somebody who's only shooting HE as opposed to, you know, really maximizing his potential damage. And this happens, of course. You can't really anticipate or predict it, and you can't expect that his next salvo is going to be HE again. So I'm seeing a situation here as he fires another salvo of HE. I'm seeing the potential for a double strike. I'm looking at the cruiser mainly, because the one that's way back that I shot before, I can't even tell what it is, but anyways, he's at B, and I'm hoping that he comes out, which is what I'm looking for there, and maybe I can do a drive-by on the, the Colorado, but that's when the Z-23 shows up, and I figure, you know what, screw it. At this point, I'm guessing it's a loss. We'll just throw everything over here at the Z-23, get the kill, and ram. Oh yeah. That, ladies and gentlemen. Hell yeah. Double strike number 200. So, and actually, upon closer examination, there might have been a very realistic chance of possibly bringing that match back. Ultimately, I don't think that I would have been able to do that simply because, you know, the carrier would have been focusing me from that point forward, and I think through attrition I would have been killed, but I think I also could have done a lot more there if I just didn't let myself go into that ram situation. So a bit of a I kind of screwed that up. Potentially, I don't know in retrospect, or you just never know. So anyhow, I'm in the Gremlin here. This is not going well. I've had an Alabama behind me just beaching on that island once or twice, and he's just been contributing pretty much nothing. But I've been getting these really chunky hits on these cruisers and whatnot. Like one of the best things to shoot at with the Kremlin is a bow forward Des Moines or like a Hindenburg or something. You could just do so much against them. And just taking a look here, we got a nice little, yeah, hey, there's something I can shoot at and easily overmatch. Now it's just a matter of dispersion. Am I going to roll decent dispersion? It's a battleship, you never know. Alright, I'll take 10,000. I mean, kind of was hoping for a little bit more there, but that's okay. He's still reversing, but look at this dispersion now. Holy shit. Okay, alright. Yeah. Now, granted, I think pretty much any battleship would have been able to do that, as far as, like, you know, a Missouri probably would have been able to do that, you know, on an earlier salvo, but it's still nice to see results like that, so I'm happy about it. Unfortunately, I'm still pinned down here because there's too much for me to handle over here, and the thing is, they keep coming up here and they keep exposing themselves to be shot by my gun, so I can't neglect this position. I can't be like, oh, okay, well, now I'm just going to move in and throw my ship away. If they're going to keep coming this way, by all means, I'll let them, because, you know, I am beating the crap out of them. So I'm expecting at least some more action here on my right side. So taking another gander here at the Hindenburg, trying to correct the excessive lead that I had there initially. On the first shot that I had against him, hoping for a double strike here against the Des Moines, but unfortunately it didn't manage to do much of anything against the Hindenburg, but that's not the case against the Des Moines, so another one. And I forgot to record it. There was a division of Des Moines, like 3 players in Des Moines, and managed to get all 3 of them. That was awesome. So Dev struck 1 and finished off 2 of the others, so that was pretty damn fun, but I didn't record it, sadly. Anyhow, here comes the Bismarck. I aim up to try to hit the superstructure, or, you know, bust the turrets or whatever. Nope, not gonna happen. I really don't have a lot of luck doing that with this ship, despite the incredible amount of shell pen, and holy fuck, that's when things get real. So there's a Vladivostok, there's a Kremlin, and there's a Daring, and we've got the Bismarck coming in for a ram. I set fire there, and check this out. He dies just before the last hit there, while I get my A and B turrets to nuke the Vladivostok and bring it around the C turret. I'm ignoring the Daring, I can't do much there, but the Gremlin? Double strike number 201, booyah! So ridiculous. Oh my god. But anyhow, yeah, I like the Kremlin, and I know I said that I was going to do some more work in progress videos for the last batch of the work in progress ships, but I just haven't been able to get around to it, so I'm going to forego that, and my next video should be on that ship, the Kremlin, and we're going to go into some in-depth discussion about expectations and RNG and dispersion. So, but this clip here, this is from patch 8.5. This was the first game I played in 8.5, and this is one of the craziest matches I've played in recent memory, for the sheer, just the insanity of it. And I completely screwed up here. I did not mean to shoot that at all. I just fat fingered the left mouse button, and now I'm exposed to everybody that's over here in terms of they know I'm here, and you know what it's like, guys. If you've played the Minotaur, the second you get spotted, you're pretty much everybody's target, and you know what to expect. And amazingly, nobody fired a massive salvo of AP to nuke my ass, and that should have been the warning right there that one, not everything is what it seems in this match, and then two, not to get too comfortable with things. So just trying to throw some shells over at the Republic. I'm not really sure what my plan is here at this point. We got the Shimikaze up north ahead of me here, and he's obviously trying to get his torps off, which is exactly what he's doing there. However, I am lacking a little bit of spotting here, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. So got a US cruiser over here, Yoshino coming around. Take another shot here to where that cruiser is, and gonna get spotted very briefly. And as we start to move forward is right when that Montana shows up. And he's our... Oh, I only just realized he actually took a torp from the Shimikaze. That explains everything. So I'm going to go ahead and throw my port side torps here, and these guys are just... they're pushing, man. And usually don't see players be this fearless, but I'm expecting them to slow down, so I'm just going to dump the rest of them and crash into this island. I'm going to try to work the angle here and make sure that... See, he can't see me right now, because basically how you see other ships is based off of the center point of your ship, which is really weird, but that's how it works. So don't ask me, but that's why like ships can back up from an island and use their rear turrets on you, but you can't see them. It's odd, but we got a bunch of torps into the Montana, and I think we started 2 floodings on him. Managed to get the Yoshino, so that's awesome. And at this point, I can't do anything. I can't shoot at the Montana because until he fires, I can't engage him simply because of the fact that if I do, I'm going to get spotted, and I can't risk that. So he goes down. He was going to flood out or something anyways, but 113,000 damage in the blink of an eye. Holy shit. So I was also trying to complete just a campaign task here where I get 3 citadels. So that's why I'm risking this against the enemy Cleveland, who remarkably is not using radar. As far as I'm aware, he hasn't used radar at all because I've been the most forward here, and I would certainly know, more than anybody else if he did use radar. Well, again, he didn't, so that is not something you can account for, and you just got to be like, okay, I appreciate you not doing that, as he gets radared himself, which is hilarious, and not even any hydro or anything. So whatever the case is, he's got torps coming in and should be getting killed right about there. So this Shimikaze is doing some work, and we're doing a hell of a job just keeping this area locked down. So high five to the Shimikaze, that's for sure. And the AA is doing its work there. At this point, I'm obviously very impressed with the fact that without any AA upgrades, the Minotaur is lethal anyways, but I wasn't expecting to shoot down that many that quickly, and especially before the initial attack. So typically, prior to 8.5, you would have that first wave come in. You would do damage, but you wouldn't shoot any planes down. They would do an attack, and then you would start shooting planes down. So I got the bright idea to push in while the Republic was really close, while I'd be getting spotted from air. And oh shit, there's a Buffalo now too. Okay, disregard the bug, the HP bug. It's just because I'm running the player panel mods, and it's not properly updated yet. So I have no idea how much health I can repair back. But anyways, so yep, I don't expect to survive this, that's for damn sure. But the Buffalo's going broadside. I'm like, okay, maybe I can complete that mission, get some citadels. We've got shots coming in. I'm down to nothing. And they collide, thankfully, which slows them both down. And they are sitting ducks for my torps. And I wish I switched over to the Republic, because that would have been a damn double strike. But holy shit. And now the Shimikaze is trying to mop me up, and unfortunately for him, that's just not how that works. If he used AP, he might have been able to do that, but we're already over 200,000 damage. And again, this is what I say about the ship all the time, as the Vladivostok decides to shoot at me, and again, very, very low health, and that's about the time that the carrier decides to go ahead and drop on me as well with his torps. The ship is just, I guess the way to describe it is chaos. It's just unbridled chaos. Like, when you get into these situations, there's no other ship that can do what this ship does, and no other ship that can do what it does in the time that it does it. So, despite the fragility, it's just so incredibly amazing to play, and I love it. If there's any ship in this game that fits me like a glove, it's the Minotaur, and holy hell, man, I avoided playing it for so long because I thought it would just be an awful experience, and sometimes it is, just like every other ship, but wow. Wow, is it good. So, because the Midway is infinitely faster and more armored than I can do anything about, I just stop engaging him and start shooting at the Vladivostok, which would yield better results than what I was getting against the Midway, because for some reason that deck is incapable of being penetrated by basically anything. So that's awesome. But this Vladivostok, though, you notice my Shimikaze up there and how I was being like, yeah, this guy was awesome and everything. Like, I gotta mess around with 20-kilometer torps on the Shim with torpedo acceleration, because people seem to be doing really well with it. I don't think I would do really well with it, but look at how well he squared this guy up. Like, Jesus, man. That is a beautiful set of torps. Oh, man. So, way to go for that Shim. He really kicked some ass up there, and very, very helpful to have him. But 40 planes and nearly 3,000 base XP. Just a hell of a match overall. Just, again, the burst potential is unlike anything else in the game. But I did mean to discuss a little bit more about ranked sprint, and especially the ship selections. The Senop, for instance, I think is going to be an incredibly popular ship, despite the drawbacks that it has and everything. It's going to be a pretty exciting ship, I think, and probably the most go-to ship for tech tree options there, for battleships at least. But we'll see how all that shapes up. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. A little bit of more lighthearted and a little bit more on the giggly side of things. But thank you for watching today, everybody. I will see you back here next time. Take care.